jukwaa kuu kwa heshima kubwa, tuweze kusimama. Wanaondoka kukamilisha vizuri onyesho lao la kwanza hapa Bukhungu Stadium, sikukuu ya Mashujaa. Mabibi na mabwana, tuwapigie makofi mazuri sana sana. Asanteni sana maafisa wetu, bendi hiyo ya Prisons, onyesho safi kabisa. Tunawashukuru sana tena kwa sana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Asante. Wapige makofi mazuri tena. Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Basi Mheshimiwa Gavana pamoja na County Commissioner wetu, mabibi na mabwana, wanaingia sasa kwa onyesho la pili la maafisa wetu, wakiwa ni Kakamega County Enforcement Band, waweze kutoa onyesho lao, tuweze kufurahia na kuburudika nao. Karibuni sana. Onyesho hilo linapoanza, wakiingia katikati ya uwanja na wimbo huo mkali, wimbo Rafiki Pesa. Karibuni sana. Basi wanaanza rasmi onyesho lao, ikiwa ni pamoja na kufurahia sikukuu ya leo. Wanabendi wa Kakamega Enforcement, Kakamega County Enforcement Band, kiongozi Director George Oprok, bila shaka ametoa mafunzo mazuri. Master Agri Musioni ndiye band master wetu katika sherehe hii, na afisa mwanadada anayeburudika pia pale akiwa drum major ni Milsen Ndombe. Pale katikati yuko ndugu ambaye hasongi, anakumuta ngoma lake polepole tu kwa utaratibu. Yeye ni Sergeant John Bebe. Kazi nzuri, mwendo wa aste aste, wakitawanyika kufumkana na tena kutongeana na kurudiana kwa pamoja vizuri sana. tunaendelea kwa taratibu tu, wakipendeza na kuipamba sherehe hii ya leo. Inapendeza kweli kweli, inapendeza sana, japo wanaangalia pande, lakini hawapotezi mipigo wala kupoteza mistari. Inapendeza kweli, na bila shaka unaona namna wanavyoandaa mionyesho tofauti. Basi wanaondoka kwa heshima yake Mheshimiwa Gavana. Bila shaka tumefurahia onyesho hilo. Wanaenda kuchukua sasa rasmi nafasi ya kuja na kuondoka baada ya kutupatia onyesho zuri lenye kupendeza sana kabisa. Asante sana, tunashukuru kabisa kwa meneja wetu hapo Vincent Dombi pamoja na kikosi kizima. Kazi nzuri, mmefanya vyema kweli. Mabibi na mabwana, tuwashukuru kwa kuwapigia makofi mazuri wanapoondoka rasmi. Wonderful. Asante sana, asanteni sana Kakamega County Enforcement Band. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Tunashukuru kabisa. Tuongeze makofi mengine mazuri. Asante sana. Asante sana. Thank you very much. Baada ya onyesho hilo la kwanza na kufurahia hafla hii leo, niombe tupate maombi kwanza. Sheikh Idris Mohamed, tafadhali pamoja na ndugu wako Bishop Gilbert Lijina, mtuongoze kwa maombi ya ufumbuzi. Karibuni sana Sheikh Idris na Bishop Gilbert Lijina. Naomba tuweze kusimama kwa heshima yake Mwenyezi Mungu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Shukrani zote njema ni zako Mwenyezi Mungu Mola wetu, Mungu wa ulimwengu wote, mwingi wa rehema, mwenye kurehemu, mwenye kumiliki siku ya malipo. Ee Mwenyezi Mungu, ni wewe ambaye tunakuabudu na ni wewe ambaye tunakuomba msaada. Tuongoe katika njia iliyonyooka, njia ya wale wote uliowaneemesha, si katika wale waliokasirikiwa. Tunakushukuru Mwenyezi Mungu siku hii ya leo, ikiwa ni siku ya Mashujaa ambayo tunaisherehekea kwenye gatuzi letu la Kakamega. Tunakuomba Mwenyezi Mungu uweze kuibariki nchi yetu ya Kenya, uweze kutupa amani ambayo ni ya kudumu, uweze kutuunganisha tukiwa sisi sote tukiwa ni wanandugu kwa ajili ya manufaa ya nchi yetu ya Kenya, na tujalie tuwe na undugu ambao ni wa kudumu na ukabila wetu wenye kabila la Kenya. Mwenyezi Mungu vile vile tunamuombea rais wetu wa jamhuri na naibu wake. Vile vile tunamuombea gavana wetu Bukhungu la Kakamega, vile vile na naibu wake, wajalie wawe na moyo wa kuendeleza maendeleo kwenye gatuzi letu la Kakamega. Vile vile tunamuombea mama wetu wa kwanza wa kaunti hii. Vile vile pia tunamuombea mama wa kaunti ambaye yuko hapa na sisi na viongozi wote walioko. Vile vile tunamuombea kamishna wetu wa gatuzi la Kakamega ambaye yuko hapa na sisi kwa sherehe hizi, na viongozi wote waliofika tunawaombea, wakiwemo madiwani na wengine wote ambao hatuwezi kuwataja. Tupe mema katika kaunti yetu ya Kakamega, jalia uchumi wetu uweze kuinuka kupitia kwa gavana wetu, maisha yawe ni mepesi. Wewe ndio wa kuomba, hakuna mwingine wa kuomba isipokuwa ni wewe. Wewe ndio mwenye nguvu ambazo hazina kifani, na wewe ndio Mwenyezi Mungu aliyeumba mbingu na ardhi na vyote vilivyomo na sote kutoka hapa. Kwa kuomba kwa dhati yako ile tukufu, kila anayekuja kwa shari na jambo lolote ambalo halifai kwenye gatuzi letu, wewe Mwenyezi Mungu unaijua kabla ya sisi, ivunje yake dhamira isiweze kusimama. Kwani wewe ndio Mwenyezi Mungu wa mwanzo usiyekuwa na chanzo na wa mwisho usiyekuwa na kikomo. Rehma na amani zimshukie Nabii Muhammad pamoja na mitume wote waliotangulia. Amin rabbi amin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amen. Tunaendelea na maombi.
Asante Mungu wetu ushie milele, pamoja na mwana wa Yesu Kristo. Tunasema ni asante kwa siku hii njema uliotutunukia Baba, ambayo ni siku ya Mashujaa. Tuweka nchi yetu mikononi mwako Baba, uwe kiongozi wetu. Ongoza rais wetu Daktari William Ruto pamoja na mawaziri na viongozi wengine katika taifa hili, waweze kuendeleza nchi hii kwa uwezo wako na kwa mkono wako. Baba, tuweka kaunti hii yetu ya Kakamega mikononi mwako na viongozi wote walio hapa, hasa kiongozi wetu Fernandes Barasa na wale viongozi walio chini yake. Baba mtakatifu, utampa ujasiri, utampa uwezo aweze kuongoza kaunti hii kwa mkono wako. Baba mtakatifu, katika vitengo mbalimbali na viongozi mbalimbali, Baba mtakatifu, tuwaweka mikononi mwako. Baba mtakatifu, uwe pamoja nao katika kuongoza kaunti hii. Baba mtakatifu, wale waliokusanyika hapa wote naweka mikononi mwako. Vitendo vyote ama shughuli zote zilizo hapa tunasema uje kati yetu, tuongoze katika unenaji, katika mambo yote ambayo yatafanyika. Uwe kiongozi wetu na uwe kielelezo chetu. Asante Mungu wangu kwa amani uliotupa katika kaunti hii. Asante Mungu wangu kwa watu wazuri uliokuchagulia watuongoze katika kaunti hii. Asante Mungu wangu, tuongoze tangu tuanze mkutano huu hadi mwisho. Tunasema ni asante, shukrani mbele zako, na ni katika jina la Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu tunaomba, amen.
Amen. Amen. Tuweze kuketi sasa. Mheshimiwa Gavana wetu wa gatuzi la Kakamega, FCPA Fernandes Barasa, First Lady Mama Janet Kasili Barasa, County Commissioner wetu Bwana John Ondego, Naibu wa Gavana Mheshimiwa Ayub Savula, Second Lady Mama Helen Savula, DCC wa Kakamega Bwana Ngalia Ndaya, Speaker wetu Kakamega County Assembly Right Honorable James Namati, Deputy Speaker Mheshimiwa Bernard Shitiabai, uongozi wa assembly yetu ya Kakamega kwa ujumla wakiongozwa na kiongozi wa wengi Mheshimiwa Philip Maina, waheshimiwa MCS wetu wote, bila shaka nimemtambua Mama Elsie Mohanda ambaye yupo nasi, County MP, ukipenda Woman Rep Kakamega County. Mama, karibu sana. Waheshimiwa MCS wote ambao wameweza kuwasili hapa, Service Commanders na County Security Team, mabibi na mabwana, wageni wote mliofika na wananchi wenzangu. Mheshimiwa Gavana, leo hii tunakusanyika hapa tena kwa hafla muhimu sana, ikiwa ni siku kuu ya Mashujaa. Na kabla ya kuweza kusikiza hotuba kutoka kwa viongozi wetu ambao wameratibiwa kuweza kuzungumza hapa, naomba uniruhusu tuweze kupata burudani. Na hapo mbele kama unavyoona, anaendelea kuandaa makundi tofauti director wetu wa masuala haya ya utamaduni Bi Gaudensia Otipa. Mbele yako kwanza wanaingia Kakamega County Staff. Hawa ni Kakamega County Staff Choir wakiongozwa pale na Andati Geoffrey. Niweze kuwapa sasa fursa hii mwanzishe burudani ya leo. Wote mliofika kwa hapa Kakamega County kutoka nje ya county hii, mjisikie huru na karibuni. Andati Geoffrey, nafasi ni yako. Wape sauti tafadhali. Asante, tulikwisha kufanya mazoezi, kwa hivyo ni moja kwa moja. Makundi ni mengi, tuna makundi mengi. Wapiga makofi mazuri. Kakamega County Staff Choir chini ya uongozi wa Ndati Geoffrey. Nyimbo za kwa haraka kwa pamoja mbili zimepita, mashujaa wetu na tuijenge Kenya. Zote hizi zikiwa nyimbo za kizalendo. Mbele yako Mheshimiwa Gavana, sasa anaingia Baby Chantel, anao wimbo wa uzalendo. Karibu sana. Kiongozi wake mtoto huyo ni mamake mwenyewe Lynette Alusiona. Tuendelee mtoto.
Our Honorable Governor Fernandes Barasa and all of the guests, hello. My name is Chantel Lumula. I am in grade 4 at Shikuku School, and I am an upcoming artist. I sing gospel songs. And today, I want to sing for you a song of Mashujaa. Asante Mashujaa.
Makofi mazuri. Makofi mazuri kumpe Mori. Bende Chantel, mpige makofi mengine mazuri. Sisi sote ni shujaa. Asante sana. Mheshimiwa Gavana, wanakuja sasa Likuyani Wazalendo Muungano Kwaya. Team leader pale ni Paul Mataka. Karibu sana tuweze kuzidi kuzifurahia nyimbo zetu, nyimbo za kizalendo. Na pia tutaweza kupata utamaduni ambao wameandaa makundi haya tofauti. Tuendelee. Ongeza sauti. Wanamalizia vizuri sana, wamefanya kazi ya kupendeza. Asanteni. Burudani na wapige makofi. Likuyani Wazalendo Muungano Kwaya. Asanteni sana Paul Mataka. Mheshimiwa Gavana pale mbele sasa wanaingia na Bongo B Singers, kundi kutoka Matungu likiongozwa na Mama Sara Adenyi Wanga Marainda Dance. Asante na karibuni, mwendelee na burudani. Deixa de fazer sauti kwa karibu. Ziko bado. Asante sana mama wetu. Ole milimo mwenelewe inya. Ole milimo. Wanaondoka taratibu. Tuwapigie makofi mazuri. Na bongo hii singa kutoka Matungu. Asante sana mama Sara Hadid. Mbele yako Mheshimiwa Gavana anaingia sasa Bwana Sigalagala Polytechnic Choir, Sigalagala National Polytechnic Choir, na hawa wanaongozwa na Roda Ongawa, tayari kabisa kwa wimbo mzuri kusherehekea siku kuu ya leo, Mashujaa Day. Usiondoe mikrofoni pia mbali bwana. Tunataka tusikize habari mnazoita. Asante sana. Mwanzo utajiandaa kuwasomeshea na zaidi iwapo tupate sauti. Tuendelee. National Polytechnic, hiyo bendi imefanya vizuri, inaweza. Tazama hiyo mic ya blue. Asante sana. Wanaingia sasa Mheshimiwa Governor, East Wanga Cultural Dancers. Beatrice Aumasa kwa endelea. Na makundi yote ambayo yamekwisha toa burudani, tafadhali msiende mbali. Huenda tukawahitaji tena muda mfupi. Labda tulikuwa tukiona.
Wana Kenya tupendane, wana Kenya tushirikiane. Rais Kenyatta alisema tushikane bega kwa bega. Kenya ni nchi yetu, Kenya ni nchi yetu. Kenyatta alienda ofisi akaambia wabebe panda ndege onekwe. Hapa Kenya ni nchi yetu, sisi ni wana Kenya, na hapa mbele za Mungu Kenya hamtaishi. Kenya ni nchi yetu, Kenya ni nchi yetu, Kenya ni nchi yetu. Kenyatta alienda ofisi akaambia wabebe panda ndege mwendekwe. Hapa Kenya ni nchi yetu, sisi ni wana Kenya, na hapa mbele za Mungu Kenya hamtaishi. Kenya ni nchi yetu.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wapige makofi ya kila mama anayemtana pale. Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Hii stronger cultural dances. Asante sana. Traditional dance. Mheshimiwa Gavana, mbele yako anaingia sasa na Maholo Bukhungu Cultural Group. Nijaribu kunyonga sauti hii. Wanaingia mbele yako na Maholo Bukhungu Cultural Group chini ya uongozi wake Bilda Makopa. Karibu sana. Wimbo wa kitamaduni. Nafasi hii. Yes, sir.
Wananchi mmefurahia? Arudie. Wacha tujaribu Sukuti nao wafanye makete yao, alafu tuwarudisha tena wana na Maholo. Tuwapigie na Maholo makofi wazuri. Asante, utamaduni wetu sisi wenyewe wana Ingo. Mheshimiwa Gavana, tunaingia sasa na Sukuti Matende Sukuti Cultural Group. Tuko na sisi. Matende Cultural Sukuti. How are you? aende katikati. Katikati. Wapigie makofi ndugu na bwana. Asante sana, asante sana. Asante sana First Lady Mama Janet Barasa pamoja na Second Lady Mama Ellen Sabula, naye Mama County yetu Mama MC Mohani. Asante sana waheshimiwa wote wa bibi na mabwana ambao tumefurahia pamoja na burudani la leo. Bila shaka tumeweza kufurahia na Mheshimiwa Gavana na kushukuru kwa kipindi hicho. Naomba sasa tuweze kutulia, tunaotembea tuharakishe kidogo ili tuketi tuweze kusikiza hotuba za viongozi wetu. Bila ya kupoteza wakati, Mama Waziri wetu wa Public Service and County Administration, Waziri, naomba ujiongee mbele. Mama Rachel Okumu, uweze kukaribisha rasmi wageni ambao wameweza kufika hapa Kakamega County katika hafla hii ambapo wizara yako imehusika katika kuandaa sherehe hizi. Karibu waziri.
Your Excellency, our Governor of Kakamega County, First Lady, Kakamega County, Your Excellency, our Deputy Governor, the Second Lady, our County Commissioner, all protocol observed. Your Excellency, today we are celebrating Mashujaa Day. I know wale wote wamekuja hapa ni mashujaa na wale wengine wamebaki nyumbani. Your Excellency, mine is very brief to be able to bring to your attention those who are present. Your Excellency, with us here we have officers from the national government, this being our national function, we have them present. Your Excellency, present is also our honorable members who will be able to be given an opportunity to address this sitting. Your Excellency, also present, we have the CECs. They may just wave from where they are. Your Excellency, we also have our chief officers present. And Your Excellency, we have our members of the County Assembly just seated next to you. You are most welcome. We appreciate you. Your Excellency, we also have members of the public who have come to witness today's celebration. And we also have members wale wametoka mashinani, na nataka nikujulishe wale wamefika hapa kwa haraka. Nitaanza na wale wametoka Ikolomani. Ikolomani mko? Nione kwa shangu. Shinyalu. Shinyalu mko? Tuko na Malava. Lugari. Tuko na Likuyani. Your Excellency, pia tuko na Navakholo. Navakholo sijawasikia. Tuko, Your Excellency, na Mumias East. Mumias East, Your Excellency, ndio hao, na tuko na Matungu pia. Matungu wako, Your Excellency, wamefika. Tuko na Kutere. Na pia tuko na wale wametoka Wisero. Wisero wako pale kwa kona. Your Excellency, tuko na, nikimalizia, tuko na Lurambi. Wa Lurambi wako. Your Excellency, those are the people who have come from Mumias West. Asante, Your Excellency. Poleni. Your Excellency, these are the people who have come to celebrate Mashujaa Day with us, representing our citizens kutoka all our sub-counties. We are very happy to have them come to join us in this celebration. We appreciate that you made it possible for them to be here today. Wale wote wamefika kwa hii celebration tunawakaribisha, na tunasema tuwe pamoja na tuzidi kushughulikia na kufanyia kazi Kakamega County ndio iweze kuendelea. Kwa hiyo machache, asante sana, narudishia Sumba Juma.
Asante sana Waziri Rachel Kumu. Mheshimiwa Gavana, kwa heshima yako naomba tuweze kubadilisha ratiba kidogo tu. nimwalike DCC wetu Bwana Angalia Ndaya amlete County Commissioner aweze kutuhutubia ama kutoa hotuba yake Mheshimiwa Rais hapa, kisha tutaendelea na ratiba. Asante Mheshimiwa Gavana. DCC wetu Bwana Angalia Ndaya, karibu.
Asante sana mratibu wa siku ya leo, Gavana wa kaunti ya Kakamega, our County Commissioner Kakamega County, all protocols observed. Jina langu naitwa Angalia Ndaya, na jukumu langu kwa sasa hivi, kwa sababu hotuba ya rais imeanza huko Nairobi, na muomba our County Commissioner aje tumukaribishe kwa makofi.
Asante sana Bwana Angalia, ambao ni DCC ya Kakamega Central, kwa Mheshimiwa Governor, the First Lady, the Deputy Governor and the Second Lady, Mama wa County, viongozi wa tabaka mbalimbali, the Speaker, the MCS who are here, the clergy, heads of departments, mabibi na mabwana, mjambo. Also, I want to take this opportunity to read the speech for His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto on this day when we are celebrating Mashujaa Day. So ningependa kuambia ya kwamba ukae karibu na yule ambao anaelewa Kisungu kabisa, kwa sababu nitaanza kusoma hii hotuba kwa Kisungu. This national address by His Excellency Hon. William Samoei Ruto, PhD, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, on the occasion of the Mashujaa Day celebrations held on Thursday, the 20th October 2022 at Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi, mobilizing transformational patriotism and value-driven heroism for the well-being of citizens of Kenya. I am tremendously privileged to join Kenyans and our visitors today as we commemorate the 59th anniversary of Mashujaa Day. It is with great humility that I preside over this year's celebrations for the first time as President, and I'm humbled and grateful for the honor. We solemnly observe this important day every year in order for us to reflect upon where we have come from as a nation. We mark this date to consider the troubled road we trod through the sorrowful wilderness of colonialism, injustice, and defiance that was paid in blood, toil, anguish, and death for us to be a free people. We take this opportunity to also celebrate the histories of the heroes and heroines who sacrificed valiantly in our freedom struggle, their character, and most importantly, the values and principles which inspired, sustained, and vindicated them, so that we may emulate them by leading lives worthy of their sacrifice. We ask ourselves today, what must we do to transmit this noble history and ensure that future generations appreciate us, not only as worthy heirs of our illustrious ancestors, but also as skillful stewards of their heritage. We do this in pursuit of solemn covenant proclaimed in the preamble of our Constitution that we, the people of Kenya, shall honor those who heroically struggle to bring freedom and justice to our land by adopting, enacting, and giving the Constitution to ourselves and to our future generations. Our Constitution articulates a vision of Kenya our heroes and heroines will have approved, a Kenya worth fighting for and worth paying the ultimate price for. It is their legacy to us, and it sets the stage for us to continue their patriotic work in that noble spirit that roused the first freedom fighters to resist colonial rule and their successors to reject post-colonial repression. Our heroes and heroines were neither elected nor appointed. They were not sponsored and they were not funded. They had no offices or budgets. They were ordinary people invested in the struggle to make good their unwavering belief that all people are equal and deserve to live in freedom. People of all walks of life, sustenance, farmers, traders, clerks, and former soldiers, teachers and their learners, preachers and their congregants, drivers, cooks, and farm workers ran away to the forest armed with nothing but the conviction that a more just way of life is possible and that it is worth fighting for. The legacy of independence is the historic achievement of value-driven bottom-up heroism. The people were distinguished by their unity and commitment to selfless endeavor, determination, patriotism, and an unyielding sense of justice. Every time we have come together, we have accomplished major feats. That is why, as a nation, we are exalted by the national anthem. Let one and all arise with hearts both strong and true. Our Constitution, the People's Sovereign Charter, is an instrument of collective memory. It proscribes tyranny, marginalization, and oppression, provides institutional means to dismantle injustice and eradicate inequality, and gives us an opportunity to expand freedom and actualize rights. It also defines human well-being to be the reason for individual and collective action, as well as the object of the totality of the national enterprise. We are united in common endeavor with those who came before us and did so much for our country. We may define ourselves as a nation proudly standing on the foundation of the Constitution, united in pursuit of the well-being of every citizen. The principal reason for promulgating our Constitution then was to inscribe the values which animated our history of accomplishment and to project them in a manner that resonates across generations. The national values and principles of governance set out in Article 10 form the soul of its dispensation. They define the parameters of patriotism, exemplary service, selfless sacrifice, and profile us in terms of who we are and who we ought to be, individually and as a nation. We can and we must employ these values and as beacons for identifying people whose contributions honor the memory of our heroes and heroines and bring glory to our nation. It is time to direct our focus on the work that each one of us does to understand how we contribute to our individual well-being, as well as that of our communities and nation. In this understanding, we must take into account individuals, make up communities, and the greater national family, and that Kenya's nature and splendor is always greater than the sum total of our individual efforts or community endeavor. Similarly, our national capacity determines the extent of opportunities all Kenyans have to pursue and attain their aspirations. What I am saying is that regardless of the type and scale of our pursuits, every contribution matters. And regardless of our walk of life, our work matters, our intentions matter, and our thoughts matter, because we matter. I congratulate every citizen for their part in ensuring that the last election was peaceful. I know of attempts at division, disunity, confusion, and even some who did everything in their power when ties and pressure our people to engage in criminal activities. But I also know that despite a competitive campaign period characterized by intense rivalry, Kenyans resolved in unison to remain peaceful, united, and compassionate. We set a new standard for ourselves. Issue-based campaigns, transparent elections, and peaceful outcome. I salute all Kenyans who set out every day, everywhere, doing ordinary things in inspired and extraordinary ways to fend for themselves and their families, thereby keeping the country going. I commend those whose work involves service to others. I celebrate those who volunteer and give, expecting nothing in return, yet serve selflessly. From the farmers who feed our nation to the drivers who connect all parts of the country by conveying people and goods, educators who impart knowledge to our infants in kindergartens, children in schools, and youth in tertiary institutions, medical staff in wards, in the field and training institutions, workers in quarries and construction sites, artisans in their small sheds and in light workshops, traders and side streets in rural and urban markets, all the way to the Nairobi Security Exchange, professionals who give their best in every sector of national endeavor, and our men and women in uniform, whose bravery and commitment continue to set the gold standard for sterling devotion to our flag. This nation salutes your service and celebrates your contribution. These are real acts of heroism. Because of the contribution of Kenyans everywhere, our country continues to make great strides towards socio-economic transformation, shared prosperity, and enhanced well-being for our people. In the East and Horn of Africa regions, the larger African continent, and globally, this nation expresses our values with greater clarity, and the state projects our aspirations more emphatically. It is now time to lay the foundation for our future. Agriculture, as the lead sector to the economic transformation of our country, is the place to start, owing to its potential for high and quick returns on investment. But the situation in the country is wanting, and we have a severe food shortage as a result of prolonged drought in Kenya and the larger Horn of Africa region. Worst in nearly half a century, with 3 years of failed rain, coupled with these extremely high global fertilizer prices. Our government initial intervention to mitigate the challenges has been to step up food supply in northern Kenya and other regions and ensure better coordination between government and development partners. We thank our partners for their input that has gone a long way in relieving the dire situation. While fertilizer prices have more than doubled in the past 2 years since COVID-19. The prices were passed on to farmers. The cost skyrocketed to more than 7,000 Kenya shillings for a 50-kilogram bag. This had a huge impact on productivity of farmers last year. For example, maize production suffered a deficit of more than 10 million bags. Our government's first intervention to address the fertilizer challenge and make it available to counties and regions that plant in the short-term range was to import 1.5 million 50 kilograms bags and distribute them at a lower cost of 3,500 Kenya shillings. We have also made arrangements to make another 6 million bags of various types of fertilizer available for the long-range season. We have also asked county governments to work with us on last-mile delivery all the way towards our centers close to farmers. These, however, are short-term measures, and we have to take very bold steps to end the perpetual cycle of hunger and dependency on rain-fed agriculture. We must eradicate hunger in our country in the shortest time possible. To this, we have the following plans. A, we have to increase agriculture productivity. We will support all farmers to access quality inputs such as seeds, fertilizer, and pesticides, among others. We will also ensure that our farmers have access to the extension services in order to improve farming skills in the short term. We will continue with the fertilizer import program, but in the medium term, government plans to have fertilizer manufactured locally. B, on seeds, our government will work with local research institutions and both the public and private sector to scale up seed multiplication for all crops. C, however, irrigation is the ultimate solution in guaranteeing food security. In 2017, the government set out to build 57 dams to harness water for irrigation and domestic use. Many did not even start, while the few that did are incomplete. The huge capital outlay required for dam construction in the context of competing budgetary priorities possess a huge challenge to this program. To address this challenge, we have resolved to seek investment through public-private partnerships and thus be able to build as many dams as possible. The government will then enter into water purchase agreements with the developers. Consequently, it would be possible to irrigate 3 million acres of already identified irrigable land in the next 3 years. The government plans to double the land under irrigation, 1.4 million acres. Of these, 200,000 acres will be under rice irrigation and 500,000 under food crops. Rice production in Bunyala, the Tana Delta, Rohole in Garissa, Mwea in Ahero will take priority. B, our dairy farmers struggle with the high cost of feed and challenges of shortage, reservation of milk, and accessing the market. To assure them that they are on our priority list, we have taken immediate steps to reinstate the milk coolers program and distribution of 650 coolers will resume shortly. In our plan, we have identified dairy and livestock economy as subsectors with the quickest economic turnaround time, and they will become key drivers in improving food security, creating jobs, and boosting exports. In our plan, we have committed to close the housing gap, which stands at 2 million units. Our target is to increase the supply fourfold from 50,000 to 200,000 per year. Already, 2,592 units have been completed. 40,452 are under construction, and over 500,000 units that require financial backstopping and funding for bulk infrastructure are in the pipeline. I am happy to report today that the interest in the housing sector has been immensely, and that many private investors, including pension funds, have submitted proposals on the housing projects they would like to invest in. We will work together on these projects to facilitate the investments. It is clear from engagement with investors that the government needs to evolve from being a mere enabler to becoming a sponsor of projects. Not only will we provide land and bulk infrastructure at no cost, but I will personally take charge of the process to unlock the challenges that inhibit investment. For instance, VAT exemption on inputs has been enacted to lower the cost of construction, but its implementation has been curtailed by the delays in approving application for VAT refunds. As a result, developers pay VAT, but the cost saving is not enjoyed by the end buyers. Government will resolve such issues with the urgency required. Let me emphasize that the housing agenda is not just about four walls and a roof. The demand for affordable housing is an opportunity to create jobs and stimulate the economy. Manufacturing sector, which already supplies many products in the construction industry, will have expanded business opportunities. Other housing inputs, such as doors, windows, gates, and hinges, will be made by our Juakali industry. We are designing the program in a way that will upgrade and support Juakali by linking it with the technical and vocational education institutions. In the end, we expect enterprises that build housing products to emerge or expand, creating jobs and wealth for hustlers, making our housing plan truly transformational from the bottom up. We want to recreate the experience of hard-working Kenyans like John Ochieng, who is present as one of my guests today. I met him 2 days ago when I handed over keys to new homes owners in Ongata Rongai in Kajiado County under the Affordable Housing Scheme. Ochieng began working as a carpenter in that housing project when it began 2 years ago. Then, homeowners to him was a mere dream. 2 years later, he owns an apartment in the same estate. Given that there are developments today that cater to the housing needs of ordinary wananchi, I am convinced that it is possible to provide quality, affordable housing for rent and sale, and Ochieng's story will be replicated multiple times over throughout the country. We therefore proceed with the confidence that we will provide quality climate-smart housing that Kenyans can buy with mortgages of between 5,000 Kenya shillings and 15,000 Kenya shillings a month, to be made available through various home financing arrangements. Next week, on Tuesday, I will break ground at the Kibera Soweto B in Nairobi for a housing project which will deliver 4,435 social housing units. Going forward, we intend to collaborate with county governments to achieve a target of at least 5,000 units. Counties in larger metropolitan areas have a greater opportunity and can target as many as 50,000 units since demand in these areas is higher due to population density. Micro, small, medium, and enterprises. Access to credit is a stimulant that invigorates the economy. However, high interest rates crowd out the private sector, and especially the small and medium enterprises. Our pledges to them were at the heart of the Kenya Kwanza elections campaign. Already, hustlers' expectations are very high across the country, and our promise to provide a fund that will offer affordable credit to those at the bottom of the pyramid. We are aware that the most significant question in the streets, border parking lots, and fresh produce markets is, when will the Hustler Fund become operational? Even before the fund is set up, we have made several interventions. Even before the fund is set up, we have made several interventions to make credit accessible. Safaricom and their financial partners have brought down the cost of Fuliza by making the first 3 days free and reducing the tariff by 50% as part of the agreement. 4 million borrowers who had been blacklisted for defaulting will be freed from the yoke of the Credit Reference Bureau in the coming days. We have also secured an agreement with CRB that it will abandon the punitive penalty of blacklisting defaulting borrowers and move to a credit scoring system that makes defaulters eligible for credit even as they work to improve their credit worthiness. As a result, no citizen will be excluded from the credit system because of defaulting. They will therefore be eligible to access credit as they work their way out in paying their debts. On the Hustlers Fund, 3 issues are crucial. 1, some credit products will be available to small business on digital platforms at affordable rates through chamas, groups, circles, and cooperatives. 2, during my recent address to Parliament, I promised to promote the culture of saving through a pension fund product which will encourage Kenyans to participate. This will have 2 components, a long-term pension plan and a short-term one which will enable people to put money aside to take care of bad days like the loss of a job or when businesses faces financial difficulties. 3, the 2 products, the Hustlers Fund with the savings plan, will be launched on December 1st, 2022. Universal health care. Health lies at the front and center of socio-economic development. The failure of a healthcare system undermines prosperity. Kenyan families spend a total of 150 billion in out-of-pocket expenditures on health services a year, mobilized from various sources, including Harambee, WhatsApp M-Pesa, loans, sales of land, and other assets to pay hospital bills for loved ones. Also, many small businesses fail when owners fall ill and cannot work or divert money to pay medical expenses. It is no wonder then that it is commonly said that most families and individuals in Kenya are one illness away from poverty. We want to lift this punitive burden from the shoulders of Kenyans and their businesses through our universal healthcare plan. The plan is to revitalize primary healthcare by laying more emphasis on the preventive and promotive strategies. Many critical health illnesses, including cancer, heart complications, kidney failure, and hypertension, can be detected and addressed at this level without the need for hospital visits or admissions. Our health reform commitment is therefore threefold. One, in partnership with county government, we will mainstream community health workers and make them the foundation of our healthcare system. Two, reforming the National Health Insurance Fund. Progress has been made in enrolling more members in the past 10 years. 12 million Kenyans have joined the fund. The challenge, however, is that the NHIF is an occupational scheme for salaried people on payroll in the public and private sectors, and not the social insurance scheme it ought to be. We shall change the contribution structure from an individual contributory scheme to a household contributory model. Three, we intend to address the challenge of inadequate human resource in the public service and other poor industrial relationships between health professionals and county governments. We are particularly committed to the professional development of health workers. I take this opportunity to assure health workers that we have listened to them and we will propose ways in collaboration with the county government of resolving their issues. Kenya is a strong leader in the information, communication and technology space. We are the proud regional and continental hub of innovation. We have the appropriate policy framework, constitutionally protected freedoms of expression, media, information and communication to dominate the creative arts and entertainment arena. Our youth have consistently shown robust interest in the field and are engaged on various platforms, generating captivating content that is appreciated globally. There is tremendous potential for our country to become a global leader, employ hundreds of households of young people, and generate immense wealth if we facilitate the young people to plug into the global digital economy. To achieve these purposes, the government is committed to invest in the digital superhighway and the creative economy, which will be enablers of transformation, products, productivity, and overall competitiveness over the next 5 years. The government will ensure universal broadband availability by hastening the rollout of connectivity throughout the country. The laying out of an additional 100,000 kilometers of the national fiber optic network is expected to deliver these targets. Government services shall be made available throughout the country at greater convenience to citizens through digitalization and automation of all critical government processes, with a view to bringing at least 80% of our government services online. Moreover, to bring more Kenyans, especially the youth, online for businesses, learning, entertainment, and socialization, the government intends to take measures to bring down the cost of calls and data. This initiative converges with efforts to boost the creative economy and scale up cultural production and the artistic industry. Our government is also committed to the establishment of more arts and culture infrastructure, including theaters, music, auditorium, and art galleries, and extensive refurbishing of facilities to expand spaces for artistic and cultural expressions and production. The government is also firmly committed in investing in the robust delivery of the 5 pillars of our plan for socio-economic transformation. This investment is undertaken in full recognition of national values and principles of governance, as well as broader national interests and goals. They include policy, legislative, and regulatory framework, national security, justice, law and order, and education. There are parts of this country where personal safety and security are precarious and life expectancy is low. Poverty and the cost of living are high because markets and supply chains have been disrupted or threatened by insecurity. The well-being of residents is as paramount as that of every other citizen of Kenya. They too deserve to live and work in safety and dignity, and to pursue happiness without let or hindrance. And yet terrorists, bandits, cutthroats have on their lives for far too long. Criminals have held them back, extinguishing or deferring far too many hopes and dreams as the rest of the country progresses. It is time for this lawlessness to stop for good. Our government has undertaken necessary personnel realignment in the security services to facilitate the rapid achievement of our objectives. On my first day in office, I executed the instruments to actualize the financial autonomy of the National Police Service and have given the necessary directives to enable it rapidly achieve national security strategic objectives. This action extends to the facilitation of the Director of Criminal Investigation to expeditiously resolve investigations to a standard that can support effective prosecution and secure convictions. The independence of the National Police Service is essential for its institutional credibility and efficiency, citizens' safety and welfare, and effective maintenance of law and order. A professional police service fosters harmonious relationships with citizens and the communities, cannot be weaponized in pursuit of divisive or partisan agenda, and can never resort to disastrous policies like extra murder as part of policy. I believe we can keep this country safe and secure without tormenting our people. We can efficiently and effectively suppress crime, monitor, disrupt, and apprehend criminals without abducting, torturing, killing, or causing citizens to disappear. It is time to retire these terrible tactics and professionalize our criminal justice system. That is why our government is taking strong measures to facilitate the enhancement of the capacities along the chain. I have directed that immediate measures be undertaken to disband the Special Service Squad in the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. There must also be robust mechanisms throughout the police service to maintain high professional standards, scrupulous adherence to the rule of law, accountability for actions and decisions, and operational transparency. At the terminal end of the chain, the government has undertaken its obligations to observe judicial independence while actualizing the judiciary fund, enhancing budgetary allocation to enable it to invest in infrastructure and facilitate the appointments of more judges to expand access to justice. Effective deterrence of crime requires robust prosecution, while economic efficiency, investor confidence, and competitiveness all depend on effective dispute resolution. A well-resourced, independent, impartial, and thoroughly professional judiciary is indispensable for good governance, law and order, and it is also essential for financial sustainability, transactional and effectiveness, and business competitiveness. The institutional independence of the judiciary must be upheld at all times, and the independence of judges respected as the minimum gesture of respect for the rule of law. The fight against corruption can only be won through a minimalist strategy. Our government intends to wage this fight and demonstrate its commitment to zero tolerance to corruption by making all public servants accountable and submitting to the oversight of Parliament and other constitutional mandate institutions. We are committed to the rule of law, fidelity to constitutional due process, and implementation of judicial decrees and orders. Most critically, under my administration, there shall be no interference with or any attempt to control, direct, or undermine independent institutions, including those in the justice, law, and order sector. The National Police Service, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the Judiciary, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission shall perform their duties independently and professionally, and likewise subject themselves to oversight by appropriate agencies. This is our vision for ensuring that the war on corruption is not itself corrupted by inappropriate interventions. For our socio-economic transformation to be truly inclusive, we must empower all Kenyans, regardless of background, to effectively play their part by contributing to the nation-building effort and partaking of the dividends of the shared prosperity. High quality and relevant education is vital in imparting the necessary skills and competencies to the learners from pre-primary to the tertiary level in order to enable citizens engage meaningfully with the world of the present and the future. A week ago, we launched the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms to review all aspects of education in Kenya. Its findings and recommendations shall inform subsequent necessary interventions to ensure that Kenya delivers the caliber of education, skills, and training needed to successfully pursue sustainable development. We are concerned about climate change and its impact on Kenya generally and our arid and semi-arid regions in particular. We will address the effects of the phenomenon and its ravaging effects at home and abroad. Our pastoralist communities have experienced massive scarcity of pasture due to prolonged drought, the worst in 40 years, and 3 years of absolute rain failure. As a result, livestock populations have been wiped out because of starvation and lack of water, while rising food prices have made an already bad situation worse. Elsewhere, communities in the rural and urban areas across the country are equally struggling under the weight of high food prices and shortage of water. Without a doubt, climate change is complicating our roadmap towards socio-economic transformation and achievement of sustainable development goals. As we seek short-term measures to respond to the evolving situation, I have directed that a long-term and sustainable solution to the planetary challenges be put in place. The ultimate solutions include greening our country to more than 30% of tree cover by 2032. The central role forests play in addressing the effects of climate change has become more prominent now than ever before, thanks to their unparalleled capacity to absorb, store carbon, and regulate climate. Data on our forest cover paints a green picture and calls for quick action. Of the 59.2 million kilometers square land area in Kenya, only 5.2 million kilometers square is under forest cover. Of this, public forest cover 22.6 million hectares, which is 50% of the total national forest cover. The remaining 54 million hectares are bare earth, exposed to erosion and biodiversity loss. Over 80% of this lies in arid and semi-arid lands. The 10 counties with the highest forest cover are Nyeri, Lamu, Vihiga, Kirinyaga, Elgeyo Marakwet, Meru, Embu, Murang'a, Kilifi, and Nyandarua. On the reverse, the 10 counties with low tree cover are Marsabit, Mandera, Wajir, Isiolo, Siaya, Migori, Busia, Machakos, Taita Taveta, Uasin Gishu. I call upon the Council of Governors to facilitate more discussions to achieve parity in tree cover by using peer-to-peer learning and exchange of information. The government will champion the transformation of forestry and rangeland restoration to support the greening of Kenya and to combat climate change. We are at the final stage of designing a special presidential forestry and rangeland restoration acceleration program. It is being prepared by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry and various experts and partners in government, UN organizations, NGOs, and academia. The plan is to grow 5 billion trees in the next 5 years and an additional 10 billion trees between 2027 and 2032. This will eventually lead to the rehabilitation and restoration of 10.6 million hectares through constituency nerve centers in the 290 constituencies, as well as some special selected ecosystem and water towers threatened by degradation and destruction. To achieve this ambitious plan, the government will continue to support efforts by the Kenya Forestry Research Institute, KEFRI, in high-quality tree seed production, collection, processing, testing, and distribution in the 18 tree seeds centers in Gede, in Kilifi, Kitui, Muguga, in Kiambu, Garissa, Migori, Kakamega, Londiani, in Kericho, Tarbo, in Uasin Gishu, and Marigat, in Baringo. Others are Umuruti, in Laikipia, Nyeri, Turkana, Igwesi, in Makueni, Meru, Wajir, Maseno, in Kisumu, Lamu, and Taita Taveta. This will boost KEFRI's storage capacity from the current 60 metric tons a year to 240 metric tons in a year. In 10 years, this will inject 100 billion Kenya shillings into the economy as a result of the green jobs created from the seedlings production, production. Agroforestry and farming of avocados, mangoes, and macadamia should also open new value chains for our export markets, in creating new green jobs in the sector. I therefore urge all Kenyans to support the government call to grow at least 15 billion trees in the next 10 years. The afforestation in the presidential program will be undertaken by the youth and women groups, civil society, community and religious organizations, leveraging on private sector and government financing. To ensure sustainable funding, Kenya is developing policies and strategies to tap into the global carbon market opportunities accessible through carbon trading. Additionally, the government will secure and protect public forest rehabilitation and restores all degraded water towers and other forest ecosystems across the country. To resolve the capacity constraints at the Kenya Forestry Service that has been operating at half capacity, I have directed the immediate recruitment of an additional 2,700 forest rangers and 600 forest officers to augment our intervention in this sector. Shortly, I will also be inaugurating the Climate Change Council that will steer Kenya's climate action through stakeholders' engagement coordinated in the presidency as required by the Climate Change Act 2016. Under the program, we will start mobilizing finance through public, private, and multilateral sources, including climate finance, to fund the proposed activities. This is anchored on the United Nations goals and backed by the Tree Growing and Sustainable Forestry Finance Management Program supported by UNDP, UNEP, FAO, UNCDF, and New York's Partner Trust Fund. The program also responds to Kenya's commitments to help reduce global greenhouse gas emissions articulated in various multilateral environmental agreements and the United Nations Decade of Action on Ecosystem Restoration. Kenya will rally the global towards more ambitious climate action in next month's 27th UN Climate Change Conference at Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. In an increasingly interconnected world, our well-being depends on the engagement with our neighbors, continentally, fraternity, and international partners. In all these arenas, Kenya has continued to be a dependable ally, faithful friend, and effective partner, ever committed to win-win bilateral as well as multilateral outcomes that achieve mutual gains for benefit of humanity. In the East African community, the rigid territorial borders are firmly on the way out as the momentum towards integration gathers. Non-tariff barriers have come down and trade volumes have soared. The community is becoming even more tightly connected with the infrastructure system crisscrossing the member countries. The possibility of an East African Federation is no longer a wild imagination or idle dream. It is no longer a matter of if, it is a matter of when. In recent days, I have been to our sister countries in East Africa to take care of mutually beneficial regional businesses. In Ethiopia, we launched Safaricom Ethiopia Telecom's money businesses, which expanded Safaricom and M-Pesa's regional footprint, dispersing ICT innovations and deepening the revenue base of the company. Simultaneously, Safaricom became the largest foreign investor in Ethiopia and Kenya's biggest foreign investor abroad. The East African community has become a close-knit neighborhood, and everyone's well-being has become everybody's business. With this unity and integration, we will achieve much in our lifetime. And with these bonds of solidarity and fraternity, we shall establish an oasis of hope and infinite possibility that will be irresistible to the whole world. In the Horn of Africa, peace and security efforts continue to dominate our engagement. These are important components of our broader strategy to recover stability in what has become a truly rough neighborhood. Countering violent extremism, controlling the illegal movement of small arms, peace-building and peacekeeping initiatives will continue to dominate the agenda. The conflict in the Tigray region of Ethiopia, which, according to reports from the Office of the United Nations Secretary General, is escalating, is a great source of concern for our region. Kenya shall continue to play its role by making such contributions as is required of us by the African Union-sponsored mediation efforts. The sooner hostilities cease and face-to-face talks commence, the better for our region. The region is experiencing its 5th season of severely low rain due to climate change. As a result, mitigation strategies, resilience building initiatives, and the climate change management programs have become urgent. The pressure on the capacity of regional states has never been greater. On the continental stage, we have sustained our Pan-African credentials since the dawn of African unity. That is why various frameworks of the African Union find expressions in our domestic agenda. The AU's Agenda 2063, for example, is part of our economic development plan. We are committed to maintaining our Pan-African obligations to meet the demands of our fast-evolving global circumstances. Kenya is committed to the pursuit of trade-driven Pan-Africanism as the best means of rapidly delivering shared prosperity throughout our continent. As we open our borders and expand the scope of our collaboration beyond traditional economic blocks, the vision of a continent-wide free market has become a reality. Kenya is a champion of the African Continent Free Trade Area, FCPA, beyond ratifying the instruments establishing it and domesticating its framework. Kenya has been a consistent participant in efforts to make FCPA a reality. We see this as the pathway that guarantees inclusive African economic growth and sustainable self-reliance. In turn, this will hasten our continent's post-pandemic recovery, enhance climate change resilience, and underpin stability in the face of multiple regional and global crises, including energy volatility. Our national AFCTA implementation strategy envisions Pan-African free trade as a vehicle for empowering small and medium enterprises. To signal this commitment, I recently flagged off a symbolic consignment of Ketepa tea to Ghana under the Guided Trading Initiative. Trade between Ghana and Kenya is off to admirable start, and several firms and traders in the two countries have undertaken these businesses involving export of incinerators, sisal fiber, leather bags, fuel filters, beadworks, and baskets from Juakali artisans. This points to the huge potential of trade across the continent. Beyond our continent, Kenya continues to pursue a robust policy of economic diplomacy. We are continuously aligning our strategic interests with the welfare of our people. Therefore, we are focused on finding opportunities for our people and deeper trade relations around the globe. We are receiving encouraging returns on our efforts. This week, our international port of Lamu scored a shining first with the export of livestock from northern Kenya to the Sultanate of Oman. This signals the opening up of tremendous opportunities for the pastoralists in our rangeland communities who deserve relief from the devastating losses of ravaging drought. We also remain devoted to our strategic engagements with key development partners like the United States, which is now Kenya's premier trading partner, as well as the United Kingdom, which for long held that position. The European Union, Middle East nations, the Far East, including China and Japan, and indeed many other parts of the world. Kenya's diplomacy is deliberately shifting into emerging opportunities. We are prepared to exploit the potential of the blue economy and the fast evolving digital universal positions our young generations as competitive global players. Kenya's commitment to multilateralism is a fundamental plank of our diplomatic strategy and foreign policy. This has defined our international outlook since the advent of self-governance and full sovereignty. We have hosted several multilateral institutions and aspire to receive more. Kenya has participated in many multilateral undertakings, including humanitarian missions, international peacekeeping, and pandemic responses. We join other nations of the global south to advocate democratization of global governance and to invest the multilateral system with higher moral imaginations. We believe that global governance must reflect the values it claims to advance and protect. To effectively drive our diplomacy and international engagement, Kenya has unified and clarified its policy in our Vision 2030 and our government's 5-pillar plan for socio-economic transformation. The 5th East African Community Development Strategy, AU Agenda 2063, and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The purpose of this alignment is to ensure that we forge a path for the achievement of our objectives of enhancing the well-being of humanity. We have warned the international community about global fertilizer shortage and the risk it possesses to global food shortages. Whether we are speaking at the United Nations Environment Program in Nairobi or the UN occasion conference in Lisbon, our commitment to enhancing climate change responses is strong and vocal. Kenya advocates post-pandemic solidarity on a global scale to avert economic crisis in the wake of COVID-19 by mobilizing international partnership and cooperation for recovery and debt burden of economically vulnerable developing countries and to afford them liquidity and fiscal space to manage shocks, enhance social investment, invest in climate change adaptation and mitigation, address security needs and financial development. As an anchor state in Eastern Africa and the Horn, Kenya has sustained its robust efforts to achieve lasting peace and security. We have also used the opportunity to serve at the UN Security Council to give priority to regional peace, counter terrorism and violent extremism, support peace operations, and to further the climate and security agenda. We consider these contributions to be critical in building a safe and peaceful world that is safe and conducive to human flourishing. Government efforts to affirm and project Kenya's struggle stature globally has always been complemented by the contributions of Kenyan citizens who live and work in various parts of the world. This demonstrates the complementarity of state and citizen action and the inevitable alignment between patriotism and national well-being. We are all united in the quest for a Kenya we can all be proud to call home. Our diaspora continues to serve as Kenya's excellent ambassadors along with our sports people and Kenyans who continue to excel abroad in diverse fields. You make us proud and in so doing demonstrate the true spirit of Mashujaa. Kenya is a good neighbor, true friend, loyal, ally, dependable partner and hardworking member of the international community. It lives up to its strong value system, fluently articulating the ideals of compassion, solidarity, justice, freedom and sovereignty. As a nation, we project and amplify values and principles familiar to each one of us, and which form the heart of our constitutional systems. Greater fidelity to the Constitution and better compliance with its mandates and principles will not only make us better citizens and worthy patriots, it will make Kenya a stronger nation. We therefore have a duty to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution, the nation-building enterprise, and enlist all citizens to recognize the state in making and keeping Kenya great. Patriotism is a bottom-up affair. We are called upon to stand firmly on our values and strengthen our resolve to wage war on poverty and inequality by pursuing inclusive growth. Our aim is to remove all obstacles and bring down every barrier progress. By celebrating our values, we honor our heroes. Every act of nation building is an expression of these values and a most appropriate remembrance of those who began our journey towards sovereignty, freedom, and happiness. This is a time for action. The opportunities to contribute to this historic project are limitless. It is time for us as citizens to play our part in making the Kenya we imagine come true and to turn the nation we dream of into our lived experience. This moment calls for the exercise of all our abilities, talents, gifts, skills, and strength in pursuit of national as well as personal self-actualization. It demands that we demonstrate the patriotism of a new age and express the timeless values which unite us with our heroes and heroines. We are endowed with far greater capacity today than ever in our history to pursue and accomplish major feats. Our predecessors, with far modest means, nevertheless scored monumental triumphs. There is absolutely no ceiling on our dreams, no limit to our determination, and no barrier to our collective power. Nothing stops us from becoming what we wish to be, and nothing can stand in the way. Our resolve to drive Kenya to its destiny of glory and abundance I stand here, therefore, on this sacred ground where we first raised our proud flag at the dawn of freedom, where we made a covenant to honor their glorious triumph and fine example by embracing their values and serving our nation, to rally every Kenyan to rise up. This is our moment to get up, work hard, take our chances, chase our dreams, knock on doors, and explore possibilities, because the horizon of our destiny is wrapped in the splendor of our vision, and therefore, there and before us lies potential of a magnitude never before imagined. It is all ours for the taking, and I know we are ready for it. It's our time. Happy Mashujaa Day. May our heroes continue to inspire us, and may our national values ever remain the true north of our moral competencies. God bless you. God bless Kenya. That was quite a mouthful, and you have heard what His Excellency the President has said. Now, I will not add much, but I want to say a few things. First, I want to thank all of you for turning up for this occasion, all the leaders, and as I was reading the presidential speech, I think I saw a visitor come in, His Excellency Mashujaa Lagoya. Is that true? So you are most welcome, Your Excellency. We want to tell you that there is quite a number of issues that His Excellency the President has alluded to, which is important in our day-to-day lives. Right now, there is economic hardship, and that has also affected us as a county of Kakamega. We have seen the rise of crime. I think that is attributed to economic hardship. But you see, that is not a license. Even when we are facing economic hardships, you have no reason to go and steal from another. We can have some engagements in doing something small to make you earn a living, other than going to steal from your neighbor. So I want to assure the county that we are going to increase security surveillance so that we are able to apprehend the offenders. What I want to ask from the community is that let us work together with our police officers so that we are able now to track down these people. Another thing that I want to say is still on security, is that there's been an increase in fights, sometimes leading into killings, especially on disco matangas. I don't know how true that when somebody dies, then culturally maybe I'm being cheated, but I will get it today from the leaders. But culturally, you replace that person by going to disco matanga. I think if that is a culture which I'm yet to confirm, that is what I'm being told, then it is a bad culture, we should leave it. You find the youth going to disco matanga, they fight over a gun, and they kill one another just because of a gun. Recently we had an issue in Navaholo where one boy was killed because of a fight over a gun, and we cannot continue doing that. We've also had it elsewhere. So disco matanga is banned, and I want to caution those who will be still encouraging disco matangas, that you will be doing it at your own risk. Wacha niseme ya kwamba disco matanga imepigwa marufuku na hakuna yeyote ambao anaruhusiwa kuweka disco matanga. Ikiwa umefiwa, find a way of mourning the dead, but not bringing the disco matanga, because the result of disco matangas is always resulting in another death or some deaths. So we are losing a lot, and we are losing our young generation, which should not be the case. And therefore, we'll be on the lookout. And I want to ask the DCCs, wherever they are, that the police officers, that they should ensure that there is no disco matanga. In some quarters, we send our chiefs there, and the wananchi come to stage a fight with our chiefs. That is the disrespect of the highest order. We should not do that, because the chiefs are there for the security of the population in that region. And therefore, their role is very important and should be respected. So when we get a person like that, then I'm ordering that that person should face charges in our criminal justice systems. And we will even take action to whoever has been bereaved. So we will hold you responsible, whoever has been bereaved, if you allow this matanga to be in your home. I don't want to take much of your time, but I want to thank you once again for going through the elections very peacefully. You know, we had 2 elections in our county, and we had very peaceful elections. It went the way it went, and now we have a government in place. So solely we are now behind the government, which is led by His Excellency Mashujaa Samoei Ruto. And therefore, that is where we are now. As I'm seated here, I'm his representative, and you have heard me read his speech, which has a lot of good things. So it is for us now to rally behind him and to rally behind our governor here, so that we can get development. And I want to ask leaders, I've not seen them today here. I don't know whether they are going to celebrate with their constituencies at that level, so that they also say shukrani yao for constituencies for having been elected, because I think this is the first function after the elections. But we hope that wherever they are, what I would want to ask from them is that let us work together as leaders, both county government, the national government leaders, the MPs. Let us work together for the benefit of the community of this county. And with all that, I want to thank you.
Asante sana. Tumpigie County Commissioner wetu makofi mazuri. Asante sana County Commissioner John Odego kwa hotuba ya Mheshimiwa Rais na usemi wako kwetu. Mheshimiwa Governor, naomba sasa turejelee nyuma kidogo pahala ambapo tulikuwa tumeruka. Niombe kumwalika naibu wa spika wa bunge letu la Kakamega, Mheshimiwa Bernard Shitiabai, angalau aweze kutambua uwepo wa Mheshimiwa MCS hapa, na atamwalika moja kwa moja Mheshimiwa LC Muhanda, County MP, ambaye ataongoza kipindi cha hapo juu. Na nikitambua pia kuwasili kwake Mheshimiwa Peter Salasia wa Mumias East, ambaye amewasili hapa, na Mheshimiwa George Waluchiri wa Jakoya wa Roots Party aliyewania urais katika Jamhuri yetu ya Kenya kura zilizopita. Karibu sana Naibu Spika.
Asante sana. Through His Excellency the Governor, all protocols observed. Nashukuru sana na wale wananchi wote ambao wametoka matabaka yote mbali kuja kusherehekea siku ya leo, siku ya Mashujaa. Bila kupoteza muda, ningelipenda kuuliza kupitia idhini yake gavana wetu niweze kuwaita wale waheshimiwa ambao wako hapa, kila mmoja kwa sekunde moja tu kusema jina lake. Asante sana. Gavana anasema kwamba tungelisimama wote kama waheshimiwa na tuweze kupunga mkono. Hawa ndio waheshimiwa wetu kutoka maeneo ambao ni maeneo 60 na wale 30 ambao waliteuliwa. Pamoja nasi tuko na leader of majority ambaye ni Mheshimiwa Philip Maina ambaye yuko nasi hapa. Kwa hivyo kwa wananchi wote tungelipenda kuambia kwamba kama bunge letu la kaunti ya Kakamega tunashirikiana pamoja na tutafanya kazi ya kuhakikisha kwamba mnapata zile services zenu kama jinsi mlivyochagua viongozi, na msichelewe kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba mnaleta ile ambayo ni miswada ama maoni ambayo mnahitaji kutoka maoni yenu kutoka katika kila eneo kupitia yule mwakilishi wenu, kuhakikisha kwamba mnapata zile services ambazo mlihitaji kwa kaunti yetu ya Kakamega. Bila kuchukua muda mrefu, kuli mwenye wa amana mwamanya makwane nishireshene umenye kunene Bukhungu weru nene gavana weru alindi lohono nene deputy wewe kwito mwifalitse lohono tawe. May I wish to take this opportunity to invite our only women representative, Mama Elsie, to take over the remaining session. Tupigie makofi. Kwa majina naitwa Bernard Isindu Shitiabai. Mimi ndiye Deputy Speaker wa Assembly ya Kakamega. Mbarikiwe sana. Our second governor, His Excellency FCPA Fernandes Barasa and his family, our deputy governor, His Excellency Isabula and your family, all leaders, both in the national governments and the county governments, nende bandu banje mirembe, bandu banje mirembe gani, mirembe chama ulu, nenzi mama wenye county, Mama Elsie Mwanda, muhali witu la musikati kule ndi Kakamega County. Siku ya leo tunajivunia mashujaa. Mashujaa wa kwanza ni nyinyi watu wa Kakamega County. Mlichagua viongozi bora, sio bora viongozi. Si namna hivyo? Na pia shujaa wa pili ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Huyo ndio baba wa demokrasi. Sisi sote tuko hapa kwa ajili ya Raila Amolo Odinga. Devolution iko hapa kwa ajili ya Raila Amolo Odinga. Sisi wa mama tuko kwa serikali kwa ajili ya Raila Amolo Odinga. God bless Raila Amolo Odinga. Shujaa mwingine ni gavana wetu wa kwanza Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya. Tuko hapa na tunafanana vile tuko kwa ajili wa huyo gavana. Shujaa mwingine ni second governor wa Kakamega Fernandes Barasa. Mimi nasema ni shujaa kwa maana analeta ward fund yenye itakuja mashinani. Hawa ma MCA ndio mnakaa nao. Hawa ndio wanajua mahali kiatu inauma. Thank you very much, Governor, for that gesture. Mashujaa wengine ni kina mama, wengine wametuacha na wengine wako, wakiwemo Wangare Maathai, akiwemo hapa Kakamega County Mama Teresa Shitaha mwenye alisimama kama mbunge miaka ya zamani zaidi. Watu wangu wa Kakamega County, saa hii tuko kwa wakati mgumu sana. Siku ya leo ninapoongea, kuna wale hawajakula kitu chochote. Bei ya chakula imeenda juu. Saa hii kwa historia ya Kenya, mfuko wa mahindi umepita 6,000. These are very difficult times. Na mimi nasema ya kwamba mimi kama mama wenu wa county, wiki jana niliweka mswada kwa bunge yenye nataka government i-compel watoto wetu wapate chakula kwa shule. Kuna wale watoto wanazirai hata kwa parade kwa maana hawana chakula. Na mimi napongeza county government kwa maana iko na feeding program ya ECDE. Na mimi nasema viongozi wa kesho wanajengwa sasa hivi. Na pia mimi najua umuhimu wa CDF na ngao. Hii ni pesa yenye inakuja mashinani. Kwa hivyo tunaomba pia serikali ya juu mambo ya CDF iendelee kabisa. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema asanteni sana, na nachukua fursa hii kualika mtoto wangu Peter Salasia, mheshimiwa wa Mumias East. Karibu sana. Bado tunatafuta msichana. Na tulisema tunataka msichana kienyeji. Tulisema hivyo. Kwa Nyamuhana Mwanga. Asante.
Watu wa Kakamega Bwana asifiwe. Mnawalamu. Basi kwa heshima kubwa sana nataka nichukue nafasi kushukuru gavana wetu Fernandes Barasa na timu yake kwa ugeni wetu wa leo hii. Mimi ni mtu wake wa mkono huko chini, na nimesema lazima kiongozi wangu nikuje nikae naye hapa. Nikakuwa na rafiki yangu kule Wajakuwa, nikamwambia kuja twende tusimame na mheshimiwa Fernandes Barasa hapa. Leo nataka tunishukuru deputy governor na gavana wetu Fernandes ya kwamba ile unity ambayo umeonyesha kufanya pamoja, wengi hapo wanatarajia, lakini wanasema ashame the devil where necessary. Congratulations to two of you for the unity that you have demonstrated in this Kakamega County. Otherwise mimi nawashia Mashujaa Day mzuri, na wakati nakuwa kule bunge, mimi nitakuwa kule kwa agriculture committee ku make sure kwamba mambo yetu ya kilimo iko sawa sawa.
Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Asante sana. Nachukua fursa hii kualika the presidential candidates, His Excellency Wajakoya. Karibu sana mwana wetu.
Yani kama mtu amekunywa pombe sometimes si wanapitisha tu hivi.
Mimi ningependa kutuma shukrani zangu kwa Mwenyezi Mungu, shukrani zangu zingine kwa Rais Ruto, shukrani zangu zingine kwa mheshimiwa, na nataka mrudie Raila. Bwana Gavana, nikikupigia simu next time uchukue, manake wewe ni wetu. Na bwana Deputy Governor, ule msiani wetu, ule msiani wewe unipigia simu kila wakati na unaalikwa kwangu, na hiyo nyumba yangu Gavana ndiye atafungua, manake huko ni kwao. Bwana Commissioner na wakurugenzi wakuu wa idara ya polisi, manake mimi nilikuwa askari, najua mahali kiatu ya polisi inakanyaga. Makamishoners wote, maofisa wote wa serikali kutoka prisons, na unichunge ile nitaletwa huko, usinipatie ile dawi moja na ya supu. Ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kuambia Wakenya ya kwamba mahali tuko leo tumeendelea. Ningependa pia kumshukuru Mheshimiwa Ruto kwa kumrudisha rafiki yangu, client wangu Miguna katika nchi hii. Miguna ni huru, Miguna ni huru, Miguna ni huru. Ya tatu, ningependa kumshukuru Mheshimiwa Barasa, mtoto wetu kutoka Mumias. Tutakupatia mkono wetu na mimi nitakuunga mkono kama utanyoroka, na kama utanyoroka utakuwa one term governor. Na yeye mtoto wangu, manake namwambia kama ndugu yake mkubwa, mimi ukiniona hapa nimesimama kuwa rais wa nchi hii na nilikuwa namba 3 na kura zangu mnajua mahali zilienda. I have 2.8 million votes. But at the end of the day, I got what God wanted me to do. Nitakaa na Kakamega County, manake hapa ndio kwetu. Na misaada yoyote, Mheshimiwa Salasia, wewe ni mtoto mdogo sana. Babako alikuwa mwalimu wangu, na hizi akili niko nazo zingine zilitoka kwa baba yako. Na ndio uliponialika leo nilisema lazima nije, manake kuna wale ambao hawawezi kunialika hapa. Lazima nialikwe na mtoto mdogo. Shame on you. Wakenya, tumefikia mahali tufanye kazi kama kitu kimoja. Tufanye kazi na Rais Ruto sasa hivi, maanake yeye ndio yuko. Na kama ningelikuwako mimi mwenyewe pia mngelifanya kazi na mimi. Na mama county, msaada wote utataka nikupatie, nitakupatia tukitoka hapa. Maanake najua wanawake wetu, wasichana wetu, wadada zetu, wasenjera wanje. Kwa sasa mama renga hope sana. Muuranga kama shimuranga. Nakuna nidumukana ufuli mkuliria. Kwa ina kumwesie, ubukoni wosu wa hulinabo. Ya mwisho, Bwana Barasa, indanga nasia, mahali mimi natoka, askari polisi wanakaa kwa nyumba ya nyasi. Abaskari wa indanga nasema mwenye mtu nyumba tu nyasi. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa askari kule Kiganja, nilianza kama constable. Na ningeliomba wabunge wote ambao wako hapa waangalie maslahi ya askari polisi. Waangalie maslahi ya polisi, wawajengee nyumba, wawapatie msaada, wawashike mkono, so it's the prison officers as well as the administrators. Nimejenga nyumba kule, askari hawajalala njaa tena. Lakini ningependa gavana wangu ambaye tunampenda sana,
aangalie maslahi ya polisi na ibobanga kusangana andibobanga kusangana andiboba Kenya kusangana kwa ndio maana isolonga baraza. Asanteni sana, Mungu ashukuru. Na nikiwa Joshua manake mzee tunatembea naye hapo nje, tunaongea naye kila siku. Mzee ndiye Musa ameenda polepole, mimi nimejitolea kutembea na mzee polepole niwafikishe Canaan. Bwana Alvance Odor, Alvance mwalimu mkuu ambaye nipatia milioni 5 kwa kampeni yangu, wewe hapa ndio kwetu. Asanteni sana wakuu hapa. Na wabunge pia asanteni sana. Na madamu wa baraza na madamu wa Savula, mwalimu ndi kazi mingi, manake mko na president, mtampigia kukusema ndio kupindi zendi. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana, tutakukaribisha Shinyalu kwa maana tuko na forest kubwa, na niliona hiyo mambo ya nyoka hiyo nikalipata na Shinyalu. Kwa hivyo nachukua fursa hii kumshukuru watu wote wa Kakamega County kwa kutupigia kura nyingi. Na sasa ni saa ya kazi. Kweli pesa haijaanza kukuja, lakini tutafanyia pamoja na gavana na seneta na viongozi wote wa Kakamega County kwa niaba yenu. Nachukua fursa hii kukaribisha Deputy Governor His Excellency Sabula.
Asante sana Mama County, Excellency the Governor, County Commissioner, First Lady, Mama County, Jungo Mumias East, our presidential candidate in the last election, mke wangu Helen, viongozi MCS, viongozi wa national na county government ya Kakamega, na wale wamekuja sherehe ya 59 ya Mashujaa Day. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe tena. Kwa sababu ya mvua na speech ya rais imekuwa pia ndefu, mimi sitakuwa na formal speech, lakini I'll make a few remarks alafu nimwalike gavana. Kwanza ningependa kukosoa His Excellency Wajakoya kwa kusema baraza atakuwa one term. Sisi kama Kakamega County tumetoka uchaguzi, na saa hii hatutaki maneno ya siasa. Tunataka tuingie uwanjani, tufanye maendeleo, tukamilishe yale yenye tuliagiza wananchi. Bwana Wajakoya, siasa ni 2027. Na mimi experienced politician, nimekuwa mjumbe 2 terms kule Mugai, mimi nikiwa nyuma ya baraza, na kuhakikishia Bwana Wajakoya we shall deliver, and 2027 tutakuwa na kazi rahisi. Pia ningependa kushukuru gavana wetu baraza na Bwana Wajakoya, hii hujui vile tumekuwa kule Mombasa tukishachaguliwa. Gavana wetu huyu baraza has been elected as the chairman of the finance committee of the Council of Governors, and that is a good beginning, a good start. It demonstrates baraza will deliver. Sisi kama viongozi kutoka hii county ni kumshikilia kijana wetu baraza ili to deliver on our mandate. Pia ningependa kunena machache kuhusu kwa county yetu ya Kakamega. Kwa upande ya magonjwa tuko prepared. Jana kumetokea na disaster was issue. Ministry of Health, the county government is on standby. Cholera iko wasilishu, saizi za Tarbo na Kipkaren, ijaingia upande wa Kakamega, lakini our ministry is on standby, itashughulikia hayo maneno. Pia the county government has put in pressure in their measures in place, bordering Busia and Bungoma County. Tutajaribu iwezekanavyo Ebola isitoke Uganda ije kuumiza watu wetu hapa, because health is a devolved function. Mimi ningependa kuuliza Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Your Excellency President William Samoei Ruto, raundi hii Kibaki alianzisha devolution, akalete agriculture kwa ground fully, ikabakia policy na vitu vidogo kule juu. Sisi tunakuomba, county inashughulikia community, dispensary, health center mpaka level 5 hospital. We want health services yote itoke national government ikuje county hapa ili tushughulikie watu wetu. Kule national bakie policy peke yake, because health is devolved, na ulete pesa zote functions za health ziwe hapa chini. Pia ningependa kueleza wananchi wa Kakamega, hii ni serikali mpya, serikali ya Barasa na Sabula. Hii serikali mpya tumesikia malalamishi kutoka kwa wajumbe waheshimiwa, na specifically the MCA of Sheino Ward, alafu na mjumbe wa hapa Mheshimiwa Kamala, that madawa ililetwa kwa hospitali hapa General Hospital na other health centers inaibiwa na inauzwa hapa kwa maduka hapa Kakamega. Tumekuwa jana na Mheshimiwa Gavana kule Kisumu kwa mkutano ya first supplementary budget yetu, na tumekubaliana tutaweka DCI ifuatilie wizi wa madawa pale hospitali, na mtu akipatikana ni shauri yake. Tunakubaliana wananchi? Tunakubaliana kwa hayo? Mwisho kabisa, umetupatia muda 30 days. Very soon Mheshimiwa Barasa ata-unveil the cabinet, interview the chief officers zinaendelea, na sisi tuanze kazi. Nitaomba waheshimiwa MCS wenye mko hapa mpitishe haraka the first supplementary budget, ili mimi nisikae tu kwa ofisi hapa Kakamega, ili Barasa asikae kwa ofisi. Siku moja nasikia Barasa yuko kule Likuyani ana launch project, Sabula yuko Matungu ana launch project. Saa hii tuko na ile budget ilitengenezwa na Mheshimiwa Baranya. Sasa tutatengeneza the first supplementary budget, iende kwa county assembly, iwe approved, na muone kazi ikiendelea mashinani. MCM utatusupport na muwe tayari kutusupport ili tufanye kazi. Mwisho kabisa, tulikaa kwa cabinet meeting na Mheshimiwa Barasa na baraza la mawaziri wamekaa hapa, tukapitisha kila ward ipate shilingi milioni 2 wanafunzi waende shuleni kama bursary. MCA na ward administrators wata drive that program. Na upande wa factory ya Mashujaa, kwa sababu Kakamega County we only depend on one economic activity ili na sustain county, hiyo ni Masinde Maliro University. We want to stabilize Mashujaa company ili iwe the second economic activity ya hii county, itusaidie sisi watu wetu wa Kakamega. Na nikisema hivyo, tumekuwa na Mheshimiwa Barasa kule Mumias, na tumesema ule mwekezaji wa Mumias Sugar Company asilete wafanyikazi kutoka Uganda wache kufanya kazi hapa Mumias Sugar Company. Tunataka watoto wetu wa kaunti hii wapate opportunity ya kufanya kazi kwa hiyo factory. Tunakubaliana hapo? Nachukua nafasi hii sasa kumkaribisha His Excellency the second governor of Kakamega, Mheshimiwa Fernandes Barasa, ahutubie watu wake. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
County Commissioner wetu Mr. John Ondego, First Lady wetu Professor Janet Katili Barasa, Deputy Governor wetu Mheshimiwa Sabula, akiambatana na Second Lady wetu ambaye ni Helen Sabula, our brother former presidential candidate wetu Professor George Watakoya ambaye anatoka Matungu, waheshimiwa wote wako hapa, Mheshimiwa PK, mama wa kaunti wetu, Mama Elsie, waheshimiwa wote wa County Assembly, CEC, Chief Officers na wajumbe wote, hamjambo tena. Kwanza kabisa, kabla sijasoma hotuba yangu kwa Kiingereza, ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kuwashukuru sana watu wa Kakamega kwa kazi ambayo mlifanya tarehe 29 mwezi wa 8 kwa kupiga kura na kuchagua kiongozi ambaye ni kiongozi bora, sio bora kiongozi. Kwa hivyo nyinyi ndio mashujaa wetu wa siku ya leo. Msipigie makofi tafadhali. Mimi kama gavana wenu nimesema nitakuwa gavana wa kila mtu. Tumeamua kushirikiana na viongozi wote, viongozi wa bunge, viongozi wa county assembly, ili tulete maendeleo kwa kila mtu bila mambo ya ukabila, kwa sababu tunataka kufanya maendeleo kwa usawa. Maendeleo ambayo tukifikiria ni mambo ya elimu, mambo ya afya, kazi kwa vijana, mambo ya wamama, na pia wale wote ambao wako na fursa kufanya biashara hapa Kakamega watapata kazi bila ubaguzi. Kwa sababu mtu umeenda sana, ningependa mniruhusu nitoe hotuba yangu kwa lugha ya Kiingereza. Na hotuba yangu itakuwa refu sana kama ya rais wetu William. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to stand here today as our beloved country Kenya celebrates the 59th Mashujaa Day, previously referred to as Kenyatta Day. This comes just about a month after my deputy and I were sworn in office on the 15th of September this year, following a resounding win that gave us on the 29th of August 2022. Today we celebrate Mashujaa Day in honor of our great patriots who sacrificed their lives, paying a great price through brutal death, while others were tortured and jailed for many years to secure our independence. On this day, it gives me an opportunity to display our nationhood which demonstrates the honor that we give to our compatriots for the blood that is shed for our country to achieve this freedom that we enjoy today. Indeed, without this day, some of our generations may not know, neither will they understand the sacrifice unless we deliberately pass it from generation to generation. Today, the people of Kakamega County, being one of the 47 devolved units that came into existence in 2013 following the promulgation of the new constitution in 2010, joining the rest of the country to celebrate Mashujaa Day to demonstrate the spirit of heroic acts of our freedom fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, the same way it was difficult to secure our freedom from our colonial masters, it is indeed a reflection of how difficult it was for us to have a new constitution that now guarantees our existence of the two levels of government. And of this particular one, we want to sincerely appreciate and give honor to the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. For this to be realized, it was a long walk by our change agent for the very many years, failing at some point, but finally defining the decentralization of resources for the devolved unit properly anchored in law. This now gives the people at the devolved level the financial independence, including the freedom to demonstrate and determine what and where their resources can be used to afford them best opportunities that could not be realized otherwise. This act of heroism in advancing devolution will go into the archives of our history as the second liberation that the people, especially as the grassroots, were granted with the change of law. As the people of Kakamega County, we have the duty and responsibility to participate in various forums organized by the government and propose the best way through which we can make use of these freedoms that we have been anchored by the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, in furthering devolution, the county government of Kakamega are structured beyond the ward level, where our people are able to feel the government and equally communicate their desire through their next door community administrators, effectively participating in national building. This is the freedom that I'm talking about, whose journey started many years ago. The Constitution of Kenya guarantees us the freedom to enjoy 15% of the national resources as a devolved unit. While this is a good provision, the implementation of devolution has demonstrated that indeed this may not have been provided for the ultimate freedom at the devolved level. This is witnessed by the inability of the county government to achieve some of the mega projects and programs conceptualized at the devolved level due to budgetary limitations. As the chairperson of Finance, Planning and Economic Affairs of the Council of Governors, I call upon Parliament to prioritize discussions and legislation that will ensure that people at the devolved level sufficiently enjoy the fruit of devolution. And on this accord, I want to laud the national government for committing to unbundle, cost, transfer all the devolved functions with attendant resources to all the counties so that we can enjoy the full fruit of devolution. There is indeed a need to enhance resources that are available to the involved units in order to provide the critical services required by all Kenyans. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of my efforts to enhance the evolution of services to the great people of Kakamega County, I intend to implement ward development funds where each of the 60 wards will receive 20 million shillings per year, amounting to 1.2 billion shillings to the devolved unit of government. These programs will focus on water delivery, infrastructure, and electricity. These will also assist the evolution at the world level, effectively accelerating the rate of service delivery through those devolved structures. Article 174 of the Constitution sets out the objects of devolution, which include fostering of the national unity and recognizing the diversity, promotion of democratic and accountable exercise of power, the recognition of the rights of communities to manage their own affairs, and further their development as well as provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout the country. Fellow citizens, even as we celebrate the great achievements that we have so far realized, we should never lose sight of the fact that we need to work together in order to achieve the fruits of devolution, taking advantage of the enabling environment that the county government as well as the national government has provided with us. Nothing will for sure come on a silver platter without us rolling our sleeves and working to put behind as the three enemies of poverty, disease, and ignorance that our founding father, Mr. Jomo Kenyatta, identified as the key enemies to development. It is indeed sad that more than 60 years after independence, we still are grappling with this challenge. However, I believe that we have laid a firm foundation as a county and now motivated to defeat all the three detractors of development with cooperation from all our citizens. As we embark on the journey to transform our county, it's worth noting that Kakamega County has become a preferred benchmarking position to most of the counties in Kenya. Today our county is among the few counties that have a fully fledged independent revenue collection agency supporting the collection of our own source revenue. This is one of the ways that has enabled us to increase our resources in order to provide quality services for Nigeria. My administration will enhance necessary cooperation of the agency to maximize on its mandate through the available revenue streams across the county. This will also ensure we operationalize all government infrastructure on a digital platform. In addition, our investment and development agency is among such established investment agencies in the county, which has attracted tours from our sister counties and other stakeholders. Through the agency, the government has signed MOUs and collaborations with different agencies, which include the Kenya Diaspora Alliance, USA Kenya Investment Mechanism, among many others. These and many others have made our county an investment destination to most investors within the Western Africa and even the country at large, assuring growth of our economy. As you are aware, I have laid a 6-point transformation agenda for this great county. Our main focus will be on health, sanitation and hygiene, food security, wealth creation, education with great focus on intelligent transport techniques, social development, and good governance. On healthcare and sanitation, we already have set out plans to enable all our hospitals to be a level 4. We plan to upgrade our facilities and prioritize public health care as well as disease control across the county. We are going to do a lot of investment in level 1 preventive medicine approach in order to serve our people of America. We intend to enhance universal healthcare coverage to maximize on health and also minimize the health-seeking behavior among our people while also enhancing the services of our community health volunteers. We will also continue to assure and also have our facilities stocked with medicine and also have adequate healthcare personnel for all our facilities. We will ensure that our county general hospital is optimally operating while seeking to finalize the collaboration with the national government on completion, equipping and operationalizing of the Kakamega County Teaching and Referral Hospital. In addition to this effort, investment in water infrastructure will continue to remain our key development agenda. Our clarion call for Mashujaa will receive my greatest attention so that our people don't continue to suffer by walking long distances for this water. We will also seek to reduce water shortages within our urban areas and enhance integrated waste management program for clean cities initiatives. Our people continue to land in poverty due to low ability to create wealth coupled by high poverty levels. It is sad to note that 5% of our population, which is slightly above 1/3 of our population, lives below the poverty line. To address this, my government will focus on strategic wealth initiatives that will take most of our people out of the poverty and enable them to enjoy the fruits of the revolution. We will also build industrial parks in each of our 3 regions, create and grow our county economic empowerment program, facilitate the establishment of motorcycle assembly plants and special economic zones, as well as empower our Juakali associations across the country. We will equally create an enabling business environment for business to thrive and expand our market. On revival of Mashujaa and the sugarcane industry at large, I seek to have collaborations and partnerships with the national government to ensure that the giant miller is fully operational. With all these initiatives, we seek to create over 10,000 business new jobs for our people and reduce the unemployment levels in the county, thereby enhancing economic empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, for food security, we are going to ensure that all our institutions, in collaboration with the county, we have Carl Moose for Poor Agriculture Training Institute. We are going to ensure that we have research programs so that we can improve on food and nutritional security. Additionally, we will continue to invest in all value chain development programs making available affordable farm input and extensive services for our farmers. On education, our county continues to remain a center of excellence in many institutions, especially teachers in ECD and county polytechnics are now on permanent and pensionable terms of engagement and operate on a scheme of service that guides their career growth. We endeavor to enhance our infrastructure and improve our education facilities. We'll continue hiring more teaching staff, both at ECD and county polytechnics, to reduce the teacher-learner ratio. Our bursary and scholarship programs will sustain so that needy but bright children will be guaranteed county support to complete their studies. Ladies and gentlemen, of social development, we will enhance safety by scaling up street lighting through a non-residential project to cover all the populated areas. We will fast-track the completion of this iconic Bukhungu International Stadium and establish 3 sports academies, each per region, to identify and nurture talent, as well as bring sports to tourism. My government will support our women and people living with disability for them to equally enjoy a dignified life. All these initiatives will rise upon governance, free from malpractices such as corruption, robust enablers including good roads, digital highway, a committed and well-remunerated and dedicated civil service. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, following the resolution of the 18th ordinary session of the Intergovernmental Budget Economic Forum, IBEC, that was held on Tuesday, October, in Nairobi, it was resolved that counties will start receiving the equitable share disbursement from national treasury based on the rate of output. I am confident that our development program will be on course and will face minimum bottlenecks which we have highlighted from time to time, revolving around the disbursement from national treasury and controls around sharing of revenue as carried by the Commission on Revenue Allocation. We trust that this initiative will be resolved through the commitment that was given by government during the IBEC meeting. All the above will not be realized if we do not build our efforts on a very strong culture of good governance. My government will sustain institutional initiatives that will ensure that the culture of good governance is entrenched in all our operations to enable accountability for every decision that we need to have the next County. I wish to assure the people of Kakamega County of a great commitment to pursue the development agenda spelled out in the county integrated development plan with a view to ensuring that we achieve our stated goal of creating wealth and prosperity for all. Thank you very much, and I wish you a happy Mashujaa Day. God bless Kenya. God bless Kakamega County. Kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Asante, tumpigie gavana wetu makofi mazuri. Tumefika mwisho wa sherehe za leo. Tutapata wimbo wa taifa kabla ya kuondoka. Asante sana.